Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I'm your host, Marissa. I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everybody had a really good weekend. My weekend was actually really good. It's just been me sleeping. Literally just me. I've been catching up on sleep, and I have been staying up late, and just it's been a good weekend though. It's been really fun.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say my weekend was good, but today of all days, my car decided to not break down, but
Act
it
up.
had a little misfire, a misfire.
Well, hopefully you can get it taken care of if you haven't done so already.
Oh, it's already been taken care of.
Okay, good, good, good.
It that happened like earlier this morning, because like in my hometown and stuff, there's an O'Reilly's Auto Parts, like maybe less than 5 minutes away from the house.
Auto parts.
Oh, O'Reilly.
Auto parts. Wow. Riley. So
But the guy was like, "Yeah, it's a misfire on cylinder four." I'm like, "Right, okay." And luckily enough, my dad had a cylinder for cylinder four, so, and he took it for a test drive and stuff. That he took it up to 90, like down the high, like down the yeah. He took it down took it 90 down like one way and then turned around and came back the other way, did 90 again. I was surprised he didn't get his ass pulled over.
so it's working fine.
Yeah, it was just the cylinder. It was just
Okay.
need to be replaced.
Well,
But we're all good.
I'm glad that everything's all good. And I hope you guys are all good, listening. I hope everybody enjoys tonight's episode. It's gonna be a really good episode. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy. We're getting close to the end of 2022. I am also like forgetting how to speak tonight. We're getting really close to the end of the 2022 year. So why not talk about some drummers? Some of the most memorable drummers of all time, from past to present, whether they're still here with us or whether they've tragically passed on.
Mm,
We have
yeah,
some really good drummers on these lists, and me and Dystro have not shared each other's lists with each other, so we have no idea what we picked.
yeah. It's like it could be just somebody totally random. Like, who the hell is that?
I'm like 90% certain we kind of have a similar list. You probably have a few that you left out, like on accident, but it's okay.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not that like I don't remember a lot of drummers. It's like there's a lot of drummers that are in like a lot of different bands that we both listen to or we just listen to our own individually times, and it's like it's like it's like this brain and stuff like that. It's like it can only hold so much knowledge. So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting because with the list that we do on this channel and on this podcast and stuff, it's like we don't look at it beforehand. We don't be like, oh hey, yeah, this person's on my list too. Well, maybe for a few people, but it's it's gonna be like one of those lists that it's gonna be like a four-part sort of like topic.
Yeah. So, which one of us wants to start?
I'll start if you let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, are we just gonna just name off like all that we know, or
We're just gonna like pluck,
go one by one?
yeah, one by one. Like you pick one, I'll pick one, you pick one. Like we'll start talking about them and stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Um, so since we are on a AC/DC kick lately, is obvious that I'm gonna be talking about Phil Rudd.
Yeah, I had that one on my list. That's actually one of the first ones I wrote down.
Me
Phil
too.
Rudd. I think he's been with ACDC since the beginning, if I'm correct. He is the drummer that's been there the longest. He has been kicked out and brought back in multiple times due to like drug problems and stuff like that. And I've actually had trouble with the law at one point. So he was like kicked out, put back in. And I guess with the last album that they did with Power Up, he was in that album, so that's a good thing. He is
Yeah.
one of the main members of ACDC, one of the original members. Um, there was, I believe, two of the drummers that filled in for Phil Rudd.
Think so, yeah. I can't remember them off the top of my head
One
right
was Chris Slade. Now, Chris Slade, I remember him. He has performed with another band, known as Manfred Mann. Like I don't know if
now.
you remember Manfred Mann. He sings "Blinded by the Light." He's also been with The
Yeah.
Firm. He's been with Asia, which is a fucking nice group right there, and The Firm and all them people. Like he's been with a few other groups, so he's had drumming experience. Good replacement for Phil Rudd.
Phil. Yeah.
And then the second was who? What who the fuck was it? Oh, actually, there was multiple drummers for ACDC. There was, Chris Slade, Phil Rudd, Simon Wright. That also sounds a little familiar. He was with Dio as well. Okay. So he was with ACDC from let's look at the Switch days all the way up until Blow Up Your Video. So he was, his last album he was on was Blow Up Your Video. And then Chris Slade took over for The Razor's Edge. Um, and I guess they brought Phil Rudd back after that. So it was like a constant in and out with Phil Rudd, but he again is one of the main OG members of ACDC. Killer drummer, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. Like his drumming style is like it's very unique, but it's kind of like like it's so like ACDC as a whole is kind of it says like the genre is blues rock, so you can hear the like the hi hat and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, like it's like getting you into the groove and all that stuff. And it's like you think like the lead singer is like more important. No, the drummer makes it sometimes too. Like,
Yeah. Now, one song I think of with Phil Rudd has to be TNT because, like, at the end, it speeds up. Like, right at the freaking end, it's like, do,
mm-hmm,
do, 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 like, it goes really fast.
mm-hmm.
That's, like, one I think of right away with Phil Rudd. A fucking amazing drum work on that song. TNT wasn't, yeah, that was High Voltage. That was their
Yeah,
debut album.
yeah.
Wow. That is old school ACDC right there. Wow, we're starting off on a good note. ACDC's Phil Rudd. So, I guess I'm gonna go with Keith Moon from The Who. I am
I have.
actually a pretty big Who fan. If you didn't know that, Dystro.
Oh no, I couldn't. I didn't notice.
No, 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 really, because I never really talk about The Who to really
hmm
anybody.
Right.
I am a pretty big Who fan. Keith Moon was one of the most iconic drummers of all time, and if you don't know who Keith Moon is by now,
You're
you
living under a
have,
rock.
yeah, you must be living under a damn rock. Keith Moon, he passed away at the age of 32, unfortunately, back in 1978. He was put on some kind of drug at one point after he had moved. He had moved into a place in London. He was shortly after put on um, prescription drugs for alcohol withdrawal symptoms. Uh, when they found him dead, he was found with 32 of those pills in his system. Six were digested, the other 29? Yeah, 26, excuse me. I can't do math. The other 26 were not digested. So those six pills killed him. It's sad to see him go like that. I guess he had a lot of issues, with alcohol and, now the drug addiction at that point. He had a lot
Mm.
of problems going on. He had actually eventually passed out at one point during a Who concert. They had to pluck a 19-year-old from the audience and get them to drum with the Who for the rest of the concert. And the 19-year-old did fucking fantastic. Spot on.
It's
That must be a
it,
really fucking memorable moment for that kid.
yeah. It's like yeah, like our lead, like our drummer passed out. It's like okay, who out there in the audience wants to be on this stage with us? The Who, and it's just
Pete
like
Townshend just starts talking about that.
it's like me. It's like they had to pick out like a whole bunches of people, and it's like that one kid got lucky. It's like
Very lucky.
and it's like like he probably told his fam like his friends, family, grandmother, like and stuff like that. It's like that would stay in his memory for the rest of his life.
So I actually have the story right here, a little snippet of the story. So this happened in 1973. They were in Daly City, California. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Keith Moon had ingested a mixture of tranquilizers and brandy. Well, that's not gonna fucking do well.
Mm-mm.
During the concert, Moon had passed out on his drum kit during the song "Won't Get Fooled Again," which is one of their hugest hits of all time. One of my favorite songs, by the way. The band had to stop playing. A group of roadies carried Keith Moon off stage, gave him a shower and an injection of cortisone, and sent him back on stage after a 30-minute delay. Moon again passed out during the song Magic Bus. I haven't heard that song yet. And was again removed from the stage. The band continued without him for several songs before Pete Townshend asked, "Can anyone play the drums? I mean, somebody good." A drummer in the audience, Scott Halpin, came up and played the rest of the show. Wow, that is fucking amazing. Unfortunately, Scott Halpin is actually dead.
Wow.
He died in '08 at the age of 54. Wow. Jeez. Well, can you imagine like going on with the rest of your life being like, "Hey, I got to play with the Who." Like at this
Mm-hmm.
time the Who were on the up and up. Like they were on the rise in popularity. So like, wow, that is a huge flex. But yeah, Keith
Yeah.
Moon is outstanding.
Yeah, it's like it's a shame that he died so young, though, because it's like it's like one of those like what if sort of scenarios. Is like if he wasn't dealing with drugs and alcohol, like if he would still be
With us
alive.
today.
Yeah, to this day to tell us the tales of the Who and trips on the road and all that stuff. And it's like he could be like on the uh that show with Sammy Hagar
Oh yeah,
too.
for fucking
That'd
sure.
be that'd be fucking funny.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Now a song I think of with Keith Moon obviously "Won't Get Fooled Again." Like the drum work on that song is phenomenal. It is fucking amazing. It's one of their mainstream songs that really shot in the charts. But yeah, Keith Moon, what a fucking legend.
Yes. Now, I am going to go with an absolute legend of drumming. Um, he has lots of tattoos all over his freaking body. Um, he is associated with Blink 182. I'm talking about Travis Barker.
Travis.
Travis!
Oh my god, I have him on my list as well. Also, my freaking buttons like being weird with my mic. Yeah, he is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he it's like when I think when he first started with Blink and stuff like that, like he's was with like a whole bunch of different bands. Like he was with Blink, of course. He was with I think Plus 44 with Mark, Angels and Airways with um God, I forgetting his name now. Lead guitarist of Blink. Is it Tom? It's Tom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to think of the name. I was like, it's Tom something. It's Tom. The Aquabats, which is like kind of like a jazz, like kind of fusion sort of band. It's kind of like rock and jazz mixed together. Um, and then like there's like several more that I'm probably forgetting. Like
Right.
he's been all over the spectrum a little bit.
Avril Lavigne, like everything.
Yeah.
Like I
Um,
love Travis. He's like the modern day kind of like Keith Moon, just without the drugs.
right, yeah.
He's that good. Like he is play. I think I don't like a lot of people like would compare him to like I don't know maybe if they compare him to 21 Pilots. The fuck is it? Is it Tyler or is it Joseph? I can't think of him. I don't listen to 21 Pilots, but I know the two members, but I don't know which one's the drummer. I can never figure it out. But Travis, his work with Blink 182 stands out to me the most, obviously, because he's like one of the only members besides Mark who have been there since the beginning. Tom just came back. Um,
Mhm.
Man, Travis, he is fucking good. Like he could play a drum solo like no other.
It's like over time too, he has evolved so many different tricks up his sleeve too. Like he can do like cross-armed and stuff like that. Like he could do like drums like one-handed and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, you don't have to show off and all that stuff. It's like he could just upstage anybody.
Right. Man. Now, what's a song that you think of? I should have asked you this with the other three, but what's a song that you think of with Blink that you associate with Travis being like one of his best like drum performances?
Okay, it comes to like there's three in mind. It's Bite Me from Avril Lavigne.
Okay.
His drum work on that is really good. Edging, of course, and First Date.
I think of Damn It. Like that's like my first song. Damn It.
Damn It is a good one, but it didn't. I don't think it had Travis in that one.
Oh,
It
that's
had
right. Because
another.
Travis didn't. Yeah, Travis didn't join till later. You're right.
Mhm.
Okay, I
It
forgot
had
about that.
yeah. They had a different. They had their first drummer during like the first like few albums when it got to like Dude Ranch and stuff. And I think after that album, then they got Travis
Yeah. Oh, Feeling This. That's another one that
doing this.
Travis
Yeah,
is on. That's from the actual, I think, Blink album, like the Blink 182 actual like self-titled
South
album.
Iowa. Yeah,
I love that song.
always is a good. Always.
Oh God. Jeez. Bored to Death is another one. Even though people don't like California, they don't like that album. I love it. It's not bad. Bored to Death
Yeah,
is really good.
it's not that. It's not bad. Just gotta give it a chance, people.
Yeah. All right. So that's Travis Barker. Um, what do I want to go with? Okay, I gotta go with this one. I cannot leave this one off my list at all. Um, I am a huge Def Leppard fan and have been a huge Def Leppard fan since I was the age of 5. Um, around 5 or 6 actually. We're talking about Rick Allen. Now, Rick Allen is one of the best drummers of all time in my book, probably my favorite drummer, um, for multiple reasons. He when I think it was shortly after the Pyromania album was released in 1983, he got into a car accident. Right around the holidays, actually, right around this time, like I think it was New Year's Eve or something like that. He got into a really bad car accident, and the seatbelt completely ripped his arm from his body. He had
Mm,
to get. They tried repairing it. Actually, they tried putting his arm back onto his body, but it ended up getting infected, and chances are he would have lost his other arm if they would have kept it on. So they had to cut it off. So at this point, Def Leppard was not sure what was going to happen. Obviously, they're not going to leave Rick Allen in the dust. They are family. They are like Def Leppard is one of those bands that are like closely knit. You never, rarely ever heard drama from Def Leppard at all. They were really a tight knit band and still are up to this day. They're still rocking. Um,
mm,
what Rick Allen ended up doing is they ended up getting him a special drum kit where he could play um, drum beats. Instead of using his left hand, he could use his left foot. So he had to train just like that instead of, because he doesn't have his left arm anymore. He only has one arm. Um, he had to play any beats that you'd usually play with his left hand, he had to play with his left foot. And after that, he was back, back in groove with Def Leppard. They finished up with Hysteria at this time. They finished recording Hysteria and released that in 1987, I believe, and they went on a massive tour. And it was a big success. And it's just a really, really touching comeback story for a drummer. It's really hard to drum with one arm. Can you imagine that?
yeah, it's like that one video you showed me like months ago. Um, and I saw him play with like one arm and stuff. And I was like, holy crap! Like that's amazing that he self-taught himself to play with his left foot instead of because he can't do anything with his left arm anymore. It's not like yeah, like it's gonna appear out of the fucking thin air. It's like, like he had to reteach himself how to play drums again with his left foot, which that takes guts to do. Because there's some drummers out there that are like, oh, like, well, my hands are done, and stuff. It's like, well, no, you gotta rebuild yourself.
There's ways
And
around it.
yeah, like It's like,
What I
like a
like is
few.
like Def Leppard didn't give up on him. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
really, really love about Def Leppard. Like I said, they're a really tight knit band. They're really close with each other. They don't give up on each other, even when times get rough. Def Leppard's been through a lot. We definitely need to do an episode in 2023 about Def Leppard, really in depth, because I know so much about this group. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up with this group. I saw them live in concert 10 years ago. Um, but yeah, so I have a little snippet here of what I need to read to you guys about what he uses for a drum kit. So Rick Allen has used custom manufactured cable routing by Whirlwind. He uses four electronic pedals for his left foot to play the pieces he used to play with his left arm, which from left to right trigger sounds of a closing hi-hat, bass drum, snare drum, and a tom drum. So, and nowadays, like obviously, like with technology and stuff, you can probably add more to that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking
He,
amazing.
he could be like Neil Peart from freaking Rush.
We're gonna get into him next, like pretty soon, like a couple more people, I think. Um, so when I think of Rick Allen, when I think of Def Leppard, there are so many songs he's done like fucking amazing drum work for. Um, Obviously, I got to think more towards like Hysteria and like nowadays stuff, because at this time he had only one arm. Um, with Hysteria, man, Run Riot screams to me. Run Riot's a really fast paced song, heavy drum work. So I have to say that would probably be a standout song for Rick Allen right there.
Mm.
It's a song that not a lot of people recognize, not a lot of people talk about. It's one of those hidden gems from Hysteria. You guys should probably
Right.
go listen to it. It's really good. But yeah, that is Rick Allen. We are definitely doing a Def Leppard episode in 2023.
Right. It's my turn. I don't know why
Okay,
I started.
Seamus.
It's my turn. Banger after banger after banger. No. Um, I am going to go with a mainstay in rock and roll history. 1/4 of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mr. Chad Smith himself.
Ah, yes. I just watched a rock and roll road trip with Sammy Hagar episode with Chad Smith in it. Man, he's fucking funny.
Yeah, like it's like his drum work is like it's not very talked about very much because it's like, like Red Hot Chili Peppers is like one of those bands like it's like they just have fun with it. Like they just
They
like
vibe.
they vibe, yeah. Like they like if like you're going to the beach or something like that, put on Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you're going to like a club or something like that, and it's like there's like that one section, it's like just chill out and vibe and stuff like that. Put some Red Hot Chili Peppers on. Like if you're going to a skating rink, put some Red Hot Chili Peppers on and stuff. So it's like if you're just going for a drive or something like that, roll the windows in, put some freaking Red Hot Chili Peppers on. It's like it's one of those bands that's a mainstay through time, and they keep the same rhythm, but it's like got different meanings behind their songs sometimes.
I just found out the best fucking thing in the world. So, I don't know if you know about this. Chad Smith was part of a supergroup called Chickenfoot. Can you guess who's in there?
Okay, so
Don't Google it.
I'm not googling
Don't
it.
fuck.
Let me see. Okay,
It's a group that formed in 2008. I did not know about this. That explains everything now.
okay, so I'm gonna
Hey,
say like maybe like Dave Grohl, maybe.
oh my god, you're like way off. So, it
Wow,
features
thanks.
guitarist Joe Satriani, who I don't recognize that person.
Joe Satriani is like really good. Like he's really good.
It features him, Michael Anthony from Van Halen, and Sammy Hagar.
Wow.
That is awesome. I'm going to have to go listen to this shit now. Wow. So they formed in '08. They took a break in 2012, came back in 2016, and they're currently on hiatus. So there's no future right now with them. They've released 2 albums, one live album and one box set. I need to go listen to this now. Well, not now, but later. Wow. I am a huge Sammy Hagar fan. If you guys haven't noticed already, I'm a huge Sammy Hagar fan. This is awesome. I gotta go listen to this. Like Chad Smith's the drummer, obviously. Like I gotta go hear this. This is live reaction. Like this is like me. Like wow.
It's like opening a Christmas gift on Christmas morning for
The thing
you, I
is,
guess.
Sammy had mentioned Chickenfoot on this episode of Rock and Roll Roadshow. I'm like, who the hell's Chickenfoot? I didn't bother looking it up until now. I'm just like, oh, that's what they meant. They're in a super group. Oh my god. I love Chad Smith.
Yeah.
His work with Red Hot Chili Peppers is really good. Can't Stop is probably like a number one for me when it comes to drum work.
When it comes to drum work for me, Can't Stop is a good one. Snow, Hey-O is a good one too. I think Black Summer is another good one that comes to mind too.
Ah, okay, one of their recent songs. Na 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 na, fucking took my tongue.
And Eddie, of course, too.
Basically, any Red Hot Chili Pepper song you can think of, there's
Yeah, right.
good drum
Really.
work on it.
Basically, yeah.
So that is Chad Smith, and I'm gonna have to check out Chickenfoot after this. Like, I'm dead serious. I am excited. So we are getting down to the wire here. I think we're gonna have to do 2 episodes for this because there are so many good drummers. And we're not gonna be able to fit them all into one episode. I'm gonna go with Neil Peart from Rush because I did say I was gonna talk about him later on this episode. Now, obviously, this is another one of those drummers. If you don't know him, you've been living under a rock. I am more of a new Rush fan. I just found Rush last year, I believe. Well, I knew of Rush. I wasn't crazy about them, but I found like more of their stuff last year, and I got into them more. And plus, Billy Talent did a cover of a Rush song called "A Passage to Bangkok," and that's kind of how it kickstarted everything for me. Neil Peart had passed away in January of 2020. Wow.
Yeah.
That is touching. He was 67. Neil Peart, man, like he is one of the drumming icons of the rock industry. He's been drumming since 1968.
Which goes to show, like, he is a veteran of the drumming community.
Oh, for fucking sure. Now, Rush got together in 1968. They've been around that long?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, I thought they were like a 70s band or an 80s band. Holy shit.
Nope. Yeah, it's like one of those bands that's like, it's timeless. And it's like, like their legacy will still live on, sort of thing. But the most unique thing about Neil's like drumming regimen and stuff that like is just the massive drum set that he has.
Yeah, it's like massive. Now I'm reading something right here. In 1983, Neil Peart was inducted into the Modern Drummer Readers Poll Hall of Fame. Now, Modern Drummer is a magazine that is based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's published every month, basically targeting the interests of percussionists and drummers. Neil Peart became the youngest person to ever be honored of this, induction.
Magazine,
he was only 30 at this time.
That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
His nickname to fans was the Professor. I mean, it's self-explanatory. Like he's like one of the icons. He's up there with Keith Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's so good. And it's such a shame that he passed. I kind of remember when he passed too. I was listening to Shome, of course, and I guess they announced it on the radio. And they started playing a whole bunch of Rush songs one after another. And they actually did like a special for him. I think the following night. Man, God bless him. Now, when I think of a Rush song, it has to be YYZ. It's an instrumental song, but the drum work is fucking spectacular. It is killer.
The Rush song that comes to mind for me is Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer, a classic. Can't beat it.
Me try.
It's Tom Sawyer.
Me pride.
Oh man, you gotta take a listen to YYZ though. I know some people are not crazy about instrumentals, even including myself, but this is a really good instrumental piece, especially for drums.
I think I have heard it before.
It's a long track. It's kind of a little lengthy.
It, it's kind of like, in a way, it reminds me of this band called Tool, and they do
Mm,
instrumental tracks as well.
okay. Hmm. I'll take a
It,
look into
uh,
Tool.
Tool's like one of those like it's not like very like well known, but it's kind of like in the middle sort of thing. So it's like it's not very well known, but they're kind of known in some circles. It's a long story, but yeah, like Neil, like his contributions to rock and roll is not gonna go unnoticed. Like
Oh, for
for
fucking sure.
sure.
He's inspired thousands and thousands of drummers out here, like up to this day.
Mhm.
So that's Neil Peart. We have time for two more dice shows, so go ahead and pick one.
Okay, so I am going to go with a drummer that I am familiar with. I call him my MS brother for life, Mr. Aaron. Um, I do not know. I don't want to butcher his last name. Um, but
Yeah, I was looking into that too before we started recording. I'm like, how do I pronounce his last name? I should have watched an interview.
I didn't want to call him Aaron Solo and be like, no, that's a wrestler, you dumbass.
Aaron, let me see.
So
Aaron, so let me see. Let me Google this. So it's spelled like this: Solowoniuk.
Solo one kid, Solo one,
Solovonic or something like that.
one. It
Solo Vonwick. I guess the W is pronounced as a V. I'm looking at it on Wiki right now. I'm probably butchering it. I apologize.
We're just gonna call him Aaron S. Let's
Aaron.
go.
I'm just gonna call him Aaron. Everybody knows him as Aaron.
Yeah,
So, man, we talk about Billy Talent a lot on this show, as you guys can tell by the freaking name of the show. Man, Aaron, he's definitely a drummer that goes kind of unnoticed. In my opinion, I feel like he doesn't
sure.
get enough recognition in the rock world today, and he should. It's mainly because Billy Talent's not popular where we live in the U.S. They're popular in Germany and Canada. Um, man, he is one of the greatest drummers, and it's just a really touching story of how he came to be.
Right.
Um, So, at a very young age, Aaron was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, also known as MS. And our good pal here, Dystro, knows everything about MS because he too um, was recently diagnosed with it not too long ago.
Yeah, it's something that he and I have in common. It's just like, it's like one of those conversations where it's like, oh, you have MS, I have MS too. It's like, it's like you don't want to like it's like it's hard to do stuff with it, but it's, like every day's like a new day. So it's like you gotta pick yourself up, dust yourself off, be like, okay, what am I gonna do to help myself and my mind and my body to fight this? It's not gonna go away, but if you help yourself with fighting the MS inside of you, it's like you're gonna be better off in the long term.
Like, you'll learn to kind of like adjust to it and know how to maintain
Learn
it.
to
And
cope with it. Yeah.
yeah. So in 2006, Aaron had written a letter to the fans of Billy Talent telling them he had been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. He had kept it a secret for a while because he didn't want like unwanted pity and stuff like that. But he decided to reveal his condition after discovering that some multiple sclerosis cases are diagnosed as early as 3 years of age, which is crazy. Like, oh my god, can you imagine finding out when you're like a little kid that you have multiple sclerosis and it's like something you can't heal from and you have to live with it for the rest of your life? Like, as a kid, that'd be kind of scary, don't you think?
Yeah, it's like it would just be hard like growing up too, because it's like you just never know like when that day is gonna come, and your your legs don't work, your arms don't work, your body as a whole won't work, and you're stuck to like a wheelchair or something, and it's just scary.
It is. And since then, Aaron has become an advocate for finding a cure for MS. An example of this dedication for fighting MS, he actually organized a FUMS concert benefit on Boxing Day 2006, where Billy Talent, Alexis on Fire, and another group called Monine performed at the Opera House in Toronto. All proceeds from that show went to the MS Society of Canada. Um, so, and up to this day, Aaron has a charity called FUMS. I might actually put the link at the description of this video. If you guys would like to check out that um, organization, feel free. I'll put the link in the description below if I can find it. Freaking amazing that Aaron is like advocating for this kind of thing. Unfortunately, Aaron cannot play drums full time anymore. As of 2016, he explained in a video he would not be playing full time anymore for Billy Talent for drums. Starting with their fifth album, Afraid of Heights. This is where they brought in Jordan Hastings from Alexis on Fire. Really good drummer, by the way. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
fantastic replacement at this time. Hats off to him. But Aaron still works for Billy Talent. He still has a very important role. He does a lot of backstage work with the Billy Talent band, helps with the production of the albums and stuff like that, which is good. It's good that Billy Talent didn't just leave him in the dark like that.
Mm-hmm. It's like you said with like the Who and stuff that they're or well with the Who, and it's like and with Def Leppard and stuff it's like they're kind of like a family, like more Def Leppard, but like you said with Def Leppard, like Billy Talent's a family and they don't leave their family out in the dark,
Yeah.
which is like it's a good thing because it's like if Ben was like like not like one of those like selfish people. Like he's very funny. He's really funny. Like like he's one of those guys. Like he's genuine. He's nice. He's kind, and he adores the fans. He's like if he just was like, okay, Aaron, like you're not used to it. You're not good to us anymore, and stuff like that. Like just go, and like that would have just caused like a lot of tension. That would have
Yeah,
caused a
and Ben
lot.
and Ian and Jonathan, they're not like that. They're fucking down to earth people.
Mm,
Um, Now, as of 2022, with the Crisis of Faith tour that they have been doing pretty much everywhere, Canada, I think they're in Germany right now.
mm,
Obviously, Aaron's still not playing drums. They have another drummer on hand right now. I don't remember the name of him right now, but he's from the band Winter Sleep. You guys might know who I'm talking about. Um, Aaron still plays a very important role, such as handling charitable events and occasionally playing one or two songs on stage. So yes, he still does do a song here and there as like a little surprise, which is cool. And he also organized the food drive for this tour. They did a variety of food drives, and they're also doing like the Billy Talent Association kind of charity fund right now for the Germany leg of the tour. So Aaron's still got a really important role to play in this group, and it's just amazing. Now, man, and Aaron's been part of this group since the beginning. Him and
mm.
there's been no lineup changes except just the replacement drummer for Aaron. There has been no lineup changes at all. No new lead singer, no new guitarist, no new bassist, like that kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
nobody ever got fired.
and it would probably just not sound the same if there was like a lineup change. It would not
Yeah,
sound the same.
like with Jordan on drums for Afraid of Heights and even Crisis of Faith, you really couldn't tell the difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't tell the difference.
Like it still sounds the same, and I'm really glad they
Mhm.
actually got a really good drummer as well. They're good friends too. They're really good friends with Alexis on Fire. Now, when I think of a Billy Talent song with good
There's a
drum
lot.
sound, there's a lot. I think of Red Flag right off the bat.
Yeah, because it's like more, it's like energetic and stuff, and it's
And
kind of
plus,
like
the startup is
rebellious.
all drums. It's
When I think of drum work, two come to mind. Red Flag is one. Try Honesty is the other.
Okay. Two good classics from Billy Talent. So that's Aaron. That is our one of our fucking favorite people, Aaron. So we have time for one more, and I apologize. This episode's a little bit long. I have to go to wrap up this episode. We have to go with Taylor Hawkins. Now everybody knows Taylor Hawkins at this fucking point, right about now. He had passed away earlier this year at the age of 50. He was the drummer for the Foo Fighters, and I believe he also did work with Alanis Morissette.
I think so, yeah.
Back in the day, yeah, he did work with her before he joined the Foo Fighters. But man, what an incredible human being, incredible soul, incredible drummer, obviously. And
Mm,
if you knew the bond that he shared with Dave Grohl, who we will get to in episode 2, we're going to do 2 episodes of this.
mm,
Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins shared an incredible, incredible bond. Again, I just recently watched an episode of Rock and Roll Road Trip with Sammy Hagar, and Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins were on this episode together. And it was just so touching, like to see their bond, and they're just like they're like two peas in a pod.
mm.
And when we heard that Taylor had passed away earlier this year, back in March, it crushed us. It absolutely crushed millions of people.
Yeah, it was. It's like I think I was like listening to like a Foo Fighter song like the day or two before, and then I just happened to hear. I was like, no, 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 and it's like it's like he had a wife, he had a kid, he had all these fans, and he had all these friends that he didn't get to say goodbye to, and that's hard enough. As like as just like a man of like my stature and my age, like if you don't get to say goodbye to your loved ones before you go, it's like it just doesn't feel like
Right.
your life as a whole is at a close.
Yeah. And it just came as a surprise to everybody. They found him dead in his hotel room. They were on tour at this time. He was 50. He was pretty young. He didn't look 50, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Um, Up to this day, there's still no cause of death of what happened. There is still no cause of death.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And, like, I don't know what's taking him so long. It's been almost a whole year, and it's just like, wow. Um, he is an incredible person, an incredible human being. Again, had a really tight bond with Dave Grohl.
Mm,
Um, I actually just recently saw a clip of one of the two Taylor Hawkins tribute shows they did, and Dave Grohl was performing "Times Like These." It was like right at the
mm.
end, and it's just like wow, he was like struggling to hold it together, and it kind of got me a little teary eyed this morning.
Yeah, I had saw that clip too, and it was like I think it was like towards the beginning and then towards the end, like he just couldn't like hold it together between those 2 points because it's like the whole crowd, that whole like state, that whole arena, they were all singing in unison, and it made like my heart stop because I was like, oh my God, because it's
So
like,
there was a lot of people
jeez.
that performed at the tribute concerts,
Hmm.
including Geddy Lee from Rush, Travis Barker from Blink 182, Chrissy
Wolfgang.
Hine, yeah, Wolfgang too, Wolfgang Van Halen, Chrissy Hine from The Pretenders, Brian Johnson from AC/DC, Lars Ulrich, who we will get to in the next episode. He is another
Lars.
drummer. Roger Taylor from Queen, Brian May from Queen, and so many more fucking people. And it was just a really touching tribute concert. There was 2 shows. I really wish I could find it online. I haven't looked at it, actually. I need to look, but we're running out of time. So
Hmm.
let's do it like this. So this is episode 1 of most memorable drummers. We're gonna do another episode of this, but in 2023 because we have our whole schedule already lined up for the end of 2022 for the episodes. So this will be in 2023. So you guys will have to wait till next year. Um, I guess I'm going to do song of the night now because this is like the perfect time. I have a Foo Fighters song in my head for tonight's song of the night. Um, this song not only has tremendous drum work, but it also has a really big impact on me. This song means a lot to me. As you guys remember me telling y'all, I had a rough 2020 into 2021. I had a rough 2 years, and I listened to a lot of music in those 2 years. I discovered the Foo Fighters in those 2 years, and I discovered the song Walk. Now, Walk is a song I find goes a little unnoticed, but the Foo Fighters, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's kind of like a pick me up song, like a song that gets you back up on your feet again when you're at rock bottom. And I'm gonna make that tonight's song of the night, "Walk" by the Foo Fighters. Tremendous drum work, a tremendous song with a tremendous meaning. And again, that song just really hits me. It has a personal meaning for myself. And
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those songs that's helped me get back up on my feet again after going through really tough times in my life. So if you guys are
Yeah.
interested in hearing Walk by the Foo Fighters, click on the top right hand corner of the video. There should be a link that pops up towards the end. So yeah.
And it's funny because I was like, I kind of knew in my head that you were gonna pick that song because the the me that you told me like a few months ago, like I was like, holy crap, like this song actually like saved you from like shit. Like
It did. There's two songs in my life that saved me. That and I Beg to Differ from Billy Talent.
yeah. And it's like, it's like I've always said this and I will continue to say it. It's like I am so glad that you're still here today to be with us and do this podcast with me because I could not have asked for any other podcast host.
Oh,
I couldn't.
don't make me get sappy here. God
Hey,
damn.
I'm starting to get sappy over here. God damn
Ah.
it.
So, again, God bless Taylor Hawkins. God fucking bless him. We miss him so
hmm
much. We are going to get to the end of this episode. So we already did song of the night. Next episode. So Thursday, we are getting into almost the middle of December. So we are going to start talking about our winter traditions, what we used to do during the winter time from past to present. Now this is going to be very interesting because I've lived in New York my whole life. Dystro has lived in Tennessee before, and they get snow sometimes. So yeah,
Yeah.
and now you live in Florida, so like it's gonna be kind of like an interesting topic because you could talk like past to present, like what it's like to not have snow anymore.
Oh, I mean, it feels great.
Oh, don't start. So I've got a lot of fun stuff in the snow, but so if you guys are interested in hearing our winter traditions, kind of just like we did with the summer traditions, be sure to tune in this Thursday. So if you guys stuck around to the very end, we greatly appreciate your support. Be sure to go follow us on social media by clicking on the link in the description below, which will take you to our link tree, which is everything there that you guys need, such as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and Daisho's gaming YouTube channel. So be sure to go follow us and subscribe to his channel for updates on the podcast in case something goes wrong. We can't upload. Be sure to go check out tonight's song of the night. Also, go check out the FUMS charity kind of organization. I'm going to try to put the link in the description below if I can find it. I should be able to find it. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys this Thursday. Peace.
Peace.